fix this, so I ain't got to keep doing all this. Let me find a bunch of parts. Hey, how you guys doing? Yeah, we're just gonna do some stuff on the MGA here, like hoods and trunk lids or boots and bonnets. Maybe even some door latches and hardware and clicky clackies, click, click, click. Some adjusting. We got to get the curves a little more uniform, right? She's a curvy girl, so let's make it look good, right? Welcome back, Junks Automotive. Man, where's them parts at? Quick overview of the goal, I suppose. There's a rod, goes from here, hooks over here. That's your prop rod. Take it out and you stick it down this hole. Of course, it needs painted and it needs a slight modification because it just slides through and it hits the bottom down inside here. I'm going to put a little nubbins on it so it catches on that hole, like a half a washer welded on there. So there's that. Doors, I'm going to see about putting the inner door, what you call them? Where are they? Oh, they're down there. You can't see them, it's dark. See about getting those in there. Maybe the door strikers, if I can find them. I think I've seen them somewhere. Door latches in the doors. And this is all if we have time. You know, anything can happen around here. I want to lube the latch. I've got to lube the latch and you'll see. Kind of same deal here. This is an old one, so I'm gonna have to get it cleaned up and painted. We have a little secondary catchy latch that hooks right here. I'm missing the spring for it. It's gone in the pin, but that's okay. Then right here, the little loopy bolts on there, which is this thing. There's a little latchy, and it's supposed to be spring loaded, so it, you know. Here's the striker for the hood latch. No big deal. You just need to clean it up a little bit, paint it. And of course here's the one for the hood right there. Of course I don't have washers or pins, or I got to find all that stuff, and this is what I was talking about. I've got it marked right there where I want to weld something to, just so it goes through and it doesn't have to go all the way through and hit, you know, scratch up the bottom of the trunk. And there we go. So let me get these cleaned up and painted. While they're drying, I'll find some hardware. Wiki woo. Oh, I also have the weather strip for the trunk that doesn't fit. It's too big, but it may come handy for the hood. A little hackery going on, you'll understand. And supposedly this will work. Saw this posted on Facebook, and with this part number, and it's supposed to fit really good for the trunk seal. So we'll give that a shot. Let me round up some more stuff. I got a tub full of miscellaneous bolts that probably don't go to this car, and get to doing something. Nice and toasty. It's only about 25 degrees outside. Got all my parts sprayed down and ground down and sprayed down with this good stuff here, right? So let that set up a little bit, put some black paint stuff on it. Okay, trunk seal. For you guys that don't know, there's your little release for the trunk. It's got the same thing for the hood. So I lubed all that up, and it pulls a little plunger in, and it's spring loaded, so I had to lube it up so it'd come out all the way. Catches this little deal here, which is adjustable. Now, this weather strip is meant for the trunk for an MGA from Moss Motors. It's thick. It's too thick. You can't even, it'll bend the hinges and push the deck lid up and all that. So I saw somebody had used this part number. Get this from O'Reilly's, or you used to probably order that online somewhere, and put it in there, and it's sticky back, and it seems to be staying good, and it's thinner. Well, I could latch it. Problem is, it's that much too short, so I should have got two. So anything, I'll have to piece a piece in there. But I thought, well, let's just try a piece of the other stuff that was too wide, and I put holes in the bottom of it for the screws that hold the latch, because without that, I had this in here and it would not latch. I'm gonna have to glue this in place, and it is pretty tough to latch, but it'll take some time for really all this weather strip to get mashed down and all that. And I hear from, you know, looking at the forums and on the Facebook internet webs that new seals tend to always, you know, be pretty tough for a good while. So let's see if it'll latch. There you go. And I can loosen that striker up, but this is flush. This is really nice. You know, so it is going to be what it is until that weather strip gets smashed down. You can see a little pushes up a little bit here, and these cars were just kind of like that, you know. But it'll be a nice seal. Looks like I've got to work on it inside there a little bit. Then you grab your release. It's still a little sticky, you got to push it back in. So there we go. I just got to work on the seal in the back a little bit. I don't have it all the way down, and then glue a piece of that in there right before the night's over, and we'll close this and leave it, and it'll glue that piece in there. Yep. Stuffing things. We have a plan for the trunk. The hood, excuse me, the bonnet is a different story. And I remember back in the day when we started building this car, this whole section had been replaced. This fender's from a different car. That doors, one of the doors are from a different car. It had been just bushed, right? And we had, this was caved in. It was tweaked over there. It was from where the body had gotten twisted. So, let me close this and I'll show you what I'm talking about. See that? Pretty good over there. Not so good over there. And really, with that windshield off, you can see that the car is like just a little bit, say the dash compared to the back right there. You can see that it's like this. So you see that it all fits pretty good. Really, the hood could probably go back just a little bit, and you can still see where it's been fixed, where it was welded, sections of it welded in. But the problem is, on top of it, we got a bit of gappy poo here, and it goes thinner there. So fitting square in the front, I think, is more important than being off back here. It just is what it is. What I could have done was welded in here and ground it out, and but that's just, you know, for the project that it is, it's not concourse. It'd be better if I can just have this to come up a little bit. Now, when I had fuel line and I painted the car, I had fuel line stuffed in there, and this nice and perfect, nice and flat. You couldn't really tell that the gap was so bad with this being lined up with this a little better. But from the factory, they don't have a weather strip in there. They have these bumpers. Though that track is made just like the trunk, and I believe they originally planned to put weather strip in there because you wouldn't want water going into the engine compartment and all that. But I think they had a bigger problem. And the reason they went to these bumpers, and there's, you know, a couple down each side just to keep it from rattling, is to let hot air out, to give a little more breathing room. That's why they have vents, you know, and there's people's talked about overheating problems and vapor lock and all that stuff, is because the heat can't get out of the engine compartment. It's so tight and small in there. So that was part of the fix, was to do that. But I think originally, you guys tell me in the comments down there, what do you think? that tray is made for a weather strip. The same exact weather strip that goes back there. I think. That's just me. So what I'm going to do is use the weather strip that would not fit there and see how it fits here. And I'll just do it right across the back just to level this off and hopefully push this back up. Now the good thing about that weather strip, it's hollow, so I can put something inside of it to stiffen it up just on this corner. You wouldn't be able to tell as long as it. So let me get set up and let's see. I think this looks a lot better than a big old gap. The next problem though, this is high. So let me do some adjusting. I might be able to take that land where that weather strip's sitting in and bend it down to let this come down just a little bit, give it a little bit more room. Then we gotta put our bumpers in. Hardware stuff and stuff. Let me see what I can do about this now. Well, it's about as good as I'm gonna get it, I think. Looks far better than it did, and it's still up on this corner just a little bit, but you know, I think it's gonna eventually, that rubber strip is gonna crush down and it's gonna be what it is. These cars weren't perfect by any means when they were brand new, so this car could have been that way when it was brand new. I don't know. I can't spend 3 more years of my life on this car, so let's just go with the 2 and then make it 2.5 total, and that's gonna, it'll be fine. Like Ralph says, 50 miles an hour down the road, if it looks good, he's happy. And it's not a rat rod. Yet. Well, a couple hours later, I have updates. Watch that hood. Jeez. Come on in here and check this out. 2 hours. 2. Secondary latch. Couldn't find the spring. So I made a spring out of another spring out of an air tool that was broke anyway. Latch is right here. This stupid thing, we really probably need to get another striker because it's adjustable. It's double nutted up inside here, and I thought I'll never get that broke loose because what would happen, it wouldn't even latch. It wouldn't go down far enough to latch. So you can see how much, maybe you can, the clean threads there. So that's how much I let it down. So it's right on the end of its adjustment. It works. And it still needed to shimmy. Now, again, wrecked. I think this is the same hood for the car, but I'm not sure. But I do know that this hood didn't have a latch. That's why I grabbed the other hood, knowing I was going to need, or the striker, I was going to need the pin, right? So it could be that this one's from a different year, and that's why it's, I don't know. We'll have to get another one. I'm gonna say anyway. Got that all done up real nice. It pins back there. It snaps in there. I have to lube it up because it doesn't want to go on very nice. But you know, we'll just here. Ooh, see what I can do here. One hand. Get. All right. I'll just slide back. You've got to start the secondary latch. And there you go. I'm over the hood for tonight. We're done. We might get a new thingamajigger. What I had to do was I had to put it in the latch, go from behind, and mark it with a marker on the hood, so that way I could get it close, because it was. Oh, I have one more thing. I got to do the hood. And this grinder. Hood stiffener. It goes up underneath here. Hopefully. At least it did. Yep. Goes all the way up inside there. It's held by a couple of wood screws. In this case, stainless steel. I've got a buttload of stainless steel hardware. It's just not standard fine thread. It's either machine thread or, you know, to make your own thread. When we get that in there, that's just for stiffening the hood. I think when you open and close it and all that, the trunk has one that's already in it. That's the original wood from this hood. Not too bad, I don't think. This tedious stuff, man, it's killing me. I know it's killing you guys. That's why I'm not dragging you through it so much. Anyhow, something else. There's my little, where's it at? There it is. Got our little prop rod. I'll show you my little thing here if I can. It's my nice little nubbin I put on there. All right, just welded the washer on it, ground the rest of it off, and you know, polished it up on the yeah, so it doesn't go all the way down and hit the floor and scratch the floor all up. But you know, let's see if I can do this again with one hand. Well, I swear it latches. You brought me over here for this? I should have watched more of your videos. There. Probably gonna go ahead and buy some more of the O'Reillys to put in there. That's just a little too much for me, and because that other stuff's just a little bit thinner and works nicer. Hoodage. Now, normally that would go into the radiator support thingy over here, but we'll put it there for now. So we'll get a new one of these, and the bolts go, there's nuts up inside here. I can still get to them. Okay, so we'll probably get another one of these. I can get some more adjustment out of it, and it's in not bad shape, but you know, it's a hood. We don't want it going whoop. So I think the next thing we're going to do, shut this so I can have my little win for the night. Oops. I like to do something with that secondary latch so it just goes. There you go. Now I was going to put my panels on, my inner panels and the latches and the strikers, but I can't do that because I don't have my bumpers yet, and they go screwed in through here, the door slam bumper things. I'm waiting on door seals too, because of the Thanksgiving holiday. I think I'd have normally had it yesterday or the day before. But what I want to do is go ahead and get my bolts in up here, and I'm hoping that these doors need adjusted anyhow. The bottom of that door needs to come out. You can see the rocker panel, just the edge of it, so the bottom of the door needs to come out. I have new screws coming for the door hinges as well. This will suck in as soon as I put the panel on here and bolt this together. All right, that panel overlaps and a screw goes in through, so it's going to tuck that in just a little bit. But what I want to do is put those inside bolts. You can see some holes right there, and hopefully suck that fender in just a little bit so I can see where I'm at.
Man, look at this thing. It's mint. It's basically restored. I drive this all day long, every day. What do you want me to do?
Yep. Short one for you this week. Believe it or not, I spent 6 hours to make a 20-minute video. It may not even be 20 minutes. You guys have to let me know. Do you like details? You just like big done. It's done. Well, I wish it was that easy. But seriously, let me know. I know a lot of you want to see details, and I understand that. I'm sort of that kind of guy too. I just don't want it to get to where it's like, he's working on that MGA again, because you want to see that 57 Chevy. I want to see it too. Right now, this is what I got to do. And like I said before, springtime, we're about there. So I think next week we'll get the doors squared away with the latches and all that stuff. And it's all preliminary. It all needs final clean and final buffed and all that. And we're not going to mess with doing that until we get some of the mechanicals done in and out of the car. There's no sense in doing it when we're going to get little scratches all over it, and I just clean it up and we're done anyway. Right? So, but yeah, let me know what you guys like, what you don't like. Put down in the comments. I'm great for constructive criticism. And I take it seriously from you guys. So, but I do appreciate you popping in. Sorry it's a little short, but this tedious stuff is, digging for bolts and finding the right bolts, and why don't I have this bolt, and where's that part at? Where's that spring? Where's that pin at I lost? It's just, it wears you out. It's a tough deal. But this is the real facts of life when it comes to building a car like this. I didn't take it apart. Now I just got to find everything. So, all right. I'll put the playlist for the MGA right here. If you like the 57 Chevy thing, I'll put the playlist for that after this playlist. All right. Hey, peace out, guys. Hey, I got merchandise coming on the way. Hopefully by Christmas you can buy something. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you know. Trust me, you'll be the first ones. Cheers, everybody. We'll see you next time. Even my feet are cold.